Let us speak about the first bilocation of St. Padre Pio. We are between the ancient sacristy and the entrance of the friary, because here in 1923, there was an important and significant meeting for a woman called Giovanna Rizzani, and for her meeting with Padre Pio, who came right from that door, through this corridor, and stopped here. Giovanna says that this corridor that day was crowded with people from both sides who were waiting for Padre Pio to pass and go towards the cloister. But what we want to talk to you about is what happened on January 18th, 1905. Padre Pio was at St. Elia a Pianici and had this extraordinary gift of bilocation. We can speak of the first documented bilocation of Padre Pio.
He found himself, while he was in the choir, in a building in Udine in Via dei Gianni, where a father was dying and his daughter was born. The father was the Marquis Giovanni Battista E. The mother was Leonilda Soraio, who was about to give birth. The woman, at the bedside of her husband, who was about to breathe his last, was in an advanced state of pregnancy. At night, she heard the dogs barking in the courtyard. She tried to calm them, but just at that moment, the labor pains became more and more intense. The time of birth had come. She asked the only person in the house, the Castaldo, the family administrator, to help her. The birth went well, just long enough to take the little girl in her arms, show her to her husband, and a few minutes later, he passed away. The woman herself, in her memoirs, recounts that that night she saw a friar in the corridors, a very beautiful-looking friar who was wandering around the corridors of the house during the labor, and then disappeared.
Years later, Giovanna Rizzani, now a teenager, moved to Rome with her mother. She had doubts about her faith. She wanted to resolve them by going to St. Peter's to ask for spiritual direction. She found the confessionals strangely empty, but she met a friar with whom she had a long conversation, confessed, and tried to dispel her doubts, without full success. The following year, in 1923, she felt a mysterious impulse to come here to San Giovanni Rotondo. She came. Padre Pio was coming out of the old sacristy through this corridor. She managed to find a seat in the front row. As Padre Pio passed by the guard, he said to her, "You are Giovanna. Yes, you were born the day your father died. I was waiting for you."
The woman was almost petrified because everything he told her was true. The next day, Giovanna came back to confess. In the confessional they spoke, and Padre Pio told her that he was the friar she had met in Rome and to whom she had spoken about the torments of her faith. From that day, Giovanna became the spiritual daughter of Padre Pio. He made her a tertiary with the name of Sister Jacopa. In fact, she was the only woman who witnessed the death of Padre Pio on the night between 22 and 23 September 1968.